Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today I haven't filmed one of these in a while and there will be two coming this year. You will have seen from the title, this is my entire physical TBR as it currently stands. I'm not looking forward to this, but there is nothing to do but to just film this, and I'm actually in the process of starting a brand new spreadsheet for the year of 2023 for my owned books, because the other one got a little bit confusing. I've unhauled a lot of books. I've got a massive box behind the camera that you can't see that you will eventually see, and it was just getting too confusing where to take those off, what I still had, what I'd given away, and it didn't have all my duplicates either, which is what I want to make a note of. So that is the plan. I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna hold up the books that I haven't read, and there will be many. There will be some books at the end which won't have dust jackets on because I'm currently reading them, and we'll make our way through this book cart too, because this is full of subscription box books that I have not read yet. So looking forward to that. But let's just get straight on into this. Wish me luck. Starting this long video off, our very first book from the very top shelf on this side of the room, Fire with Fire by Destiny Soraya. The omnibus edition of Dragon Master by Chris Bunch. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. A very battered copy of Brisinger by Christopher Paolini. Inheritance, also by Christopher Paolini. The Book of Dragons, edited by Jonathan Strahan, illustrated by Ravina Kai, and it includes a range of authors as it is an anthology. Book 1 in the Moon Tide Quartet, A Mage's Blood by David Hare. The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. Legacy of Ash by Matthew Ward. Before They Are Hanged and The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. The Black Hawks by David Ragg. The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker. The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. Master of Sorrows by Justin T. Cole. The Ember Blade by Chris Wooding. We Are the Dead by Mike Shackle. The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. Malice, Valor, Ruin and Wrath by John Gwynne. The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. A Game of Thrones. A Clash of Kings. A Storm of Swords 1, Steel and Snow. A Storm of Swords 2, Blood and Gold. A Feast for Crows. And A Dance with Dragons 1, Dreams and Dust, all by George R.R. Martin. Name of the Wind, The Wise Man's Fear, and The Slow Regard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss. Just makes a mess. Oh, these videos just make a mess of my shelves. Next up we've got The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. The Book of Coli, The Trials of Coli and the Fall of Coli, all by M.R. Carey. Wool, Shift and Dust by Hugh Howey. Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. I'm just going to quickly jump in here now that I'm going to start getting into where I have duplicates of books. I'm only going to be holding up one copy of the book. I will only read the book once. Well, I might reread it, but you can only read a book once until it's marked as read, so we will only be holding up one copy. I will still be counting how many books I have in my physical spreadsheet, but on my actual TBR, it's only one. So we're just gonna roll with that. The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. All of Us Villains and All of Our Demise by Amanda Foodie and Christine Lynn Herman. Gearbreakers by Zoe Hannah Mikuta. Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. The Iron Widow by Xirin J. Zhao. The Golden Flame by Emily Victoria. Our Violin Ends by Chloe Gong. Incendiary and Illusionary by Zoraida Cordova. The King of Scars and The Rule of Wolves by Lee Bardugo. Monsters Born and Made by Tanvi Burwa. Queen of Shadows. Empire of Storms. Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash, all by Sarah J. Maas. A Court of Mist and Fury. A Court of Wings and Ruin. A Court of Frost and Starlight. and A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas, The Jasmine Throne and the Oleander Sword by Tasha Suri, A Court of Miracles by Kester Grant, In the Ravenous Dark by A.M. Strickland, Red Queen, Glass Sword, King's Cage and Warstorm, all by Victoria Aveyard, Children of Blood and Bone and Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tommy Adeyemi, Nocturna by Maya Motain, The Raven Boys by Maggie Stivata, An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, Little Thieves by Margaret Owen, Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan, Cursed by Marissa Mayer, Forging Silver into Stars by Bridget Kemmerer, A Heart So Fierce and Broken and A Vow So Bold and Deadly, also by Bridget Kemmerer, Forest of Souls by Laurie M. Lee, Havenfall by Sarah Holland, Namesake by Adrian Young, and the final one off the first shelf, Shielded by Kaylin Flanders. The Neil Gaiman Reader, Selected Fiction forward by Marlon James, Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, Annecy Boys by Neil Gaiman, The Ocean at the End of the Lane and How the Marquis Got His Coat, both by Neil Gaiman, The Age of Reckoning, the complete trilogy by Thomas Anthony Leigh, Godfrey's Crusade by Mark Howard, The Grace of Kings, The Wall of Storms, Speaking Bones, and The Veiled Throne, all by Ken Liu. And these are the broken binding editions, so they're stunning. Wraithblade by S.M. Boyce, We Break Immortals by Thomas Howard Riley, Bones to the Wind by Tatiana Obey, Burn Red Skies by Kirsten Espinoza Rosero, Illborn by Daniel T. Jackson, The Fangs of War by E.J. Dobble, An Alliance of Enemies by Ruben J. Eckhart, Zeroed Out by Jacob Markoff, The Legend of Blackjack by A.R. Witham, Season of Kings by A.J. Retker, Shadows of Ivory by T.L. Greylock and Bryce O'Connor, Shards of Earth and the Eyes of the Void by Adrian Tchaikovsky, Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that name. Oh, that almost ended badly. The Doors of Eden by the same author, Altered Carbon by Richard Morgan, Seven Devils by Elizabeth May and Laura Lamb, The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson, Bella Nash and the Bath Souffle, narrated by William Keeling, The Hopeful Traveller and Other Stories by Janina David, Notorious Sorcerer by Davina Evans, The Flames of Mira by Clay Harmon, Finale by Stephanie Garber, Furyborn, Kingsbane, and Lightbringer all by Claire Legrand, The Girls of Paper and Fire, The Girls of Storm and Shadow, and The Girls of Fate and Fury, all by Natasha Nagan, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters, all by Laini Taylor, Blood and Honey and Gods and Monsters, both by Shelby Mahoran, Monstrous Design and Glorious Poison, both by Kat Dunn, The Book of Life by Deborah Harkness, Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion, How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackey, The Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray, Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett, The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke, The Final Strife by Sarah L. Arifi, A Marvellous Light by Freya Mask, The Chosen Ones by Veronica Roth, Malice by Heather Walter, The Ravens and the Monarchs, both are by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page, Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth, A Shadow of What Was Lost, An Echo of Things to Come, and The Light of All That Falls by James Islington, Age of Ash by Daniel Abram, The Justice of Kings by Richard Swan, The First Binding by R.R. Verdi, If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, The Desert Prince by Peter V. Barrett, The Shadow of the Gods and The Hunger of the Gods, both by John Gwynne, The Unspoken Name and The Thousand Eyes, both by A.K. Lockwood, Royal Assassin and Assassin's Quest, both by Robin Hobb, Ship of Magic, The Mad Ship, and The Ship of Destiny, all by Robin Hobb, Fool's Errand, The Golden Fool, and Fool's Fate, again all by Robin Hobb, Steelheart, Firefight and Calamity, all by Brandon Sanderson, The Final Empire, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages, all by Brandon Sanderson. Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse. The Girl Who Could Move Shit With Her Mind by Jackson Ford. The Painted Man by Peter V. Brett. The Inheritance Games, The Hawthorne Legacy, and The Final Gambit, all by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus. The Box in the Woods and 9 Liars, both by Maureen Johnson. The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. The Devouring Grey and The Deck of Omens, both by Christine Lynn Herman. Red Queen and Looking Glass, both by Christina Henry. Lost Boy by Christina Henry. The Ghost Tree by Christina Henry. Cursed, edited by Mary O'Regan and Paul Kane. Horseman by Christina Henry. The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Tolchalk. Brothers Grimm Complete Fairy Tales. City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire, all by Cassandra Clare. Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess, again all by Cassandra Clare. There's a lot of Cassandra Clare in this pile. Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron, again by Cassandra Clare. The Red Scrolls of Magic and The Lost Book of the White, again Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. Rebeccaite and Do You Get What You Pray For, both by O.R. Lee. Sea Tricks of Strife by D.C. Allen. Seasons of Albaddon, The Eighth Chant series by Elaine Marché and Christopher Warman. The Withered King and The Cursed Titans, both by Ricardo Victoria. The Trials of Ashmont by John Palladino. Baden Hill by I Anonymous. The Coldest Touch by Isabel Sterling. Afterlove by Tanya Brine. The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna. The Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray. The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reed. The Bone Crier's Dawn by Catherine Purdy. A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. Witches Steeped in Gold and Empress Crowned in Red, both by Sineon Smart. God's Grave and Dark Dawn, both by Jay Kristoff. The Gauntlet and the Fist Beneath and The Gauntlet and the Burning Blade, both by Ian Green. The Girl and the Stars, The Girl and the Mountain, and The Girl and the Moon, all by Mark Lawrence. Seventh Cadence by Jim Wilborn. Battle Mage by Stephen Orion. Northern Wrath by Theodold Holt. Bearers of the Black Staff and Armageddon's Children, both by Terry Brooks. The Red Knight by Miles Cameron. The Ballad of Perilous Graves by Alex Jennings. The Black Coast by Mike Brooks. The Two-Faced Queen by Nick Martell. Realmbreaker and Bladebreaker, both by Victoria Aveyard. Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After, both by Stephanie Garber. Babel or Babel by R.F. Kuang. Kingdom of the Cursed and Kingdom of the Feared, both by Carrie Maniscalco. Cress and Winter, both by Marissa Mayer. Summoner the Outcast. Summoner the Inquisition and Summoner the Battle Mage, all by Taran Matharu. Ink Heart, Ink Spell, and Ink Death, all by Cornelia Funk, or Funke, however you say it. Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston. The Selection, The Elite, The One, The Heir and the Crown, all by Kira Cass. Defy the Night by Bridget Camera. Redemptor by Jordan Ifweko. Year of the Reaper by Makia Lucia. Death Note Volume 2 by Tasugumi Oba. The Atlas 6 and the Atlas Paradox, both by Olivia Blake. Heroes by Stephen Fry. Assassin's Creed books in no particular order because I've just muddled them. So we've got Assassin's Creed Renaissance, Revelations, The Secret Crusade, and Brotherhood, all by Oliver Bowden. This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. Vicious and Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. Siege and Storm, Ruin and Rising by Lee Bardugo. We have now changed location because I thought you might be getting bored of my face, and we are on to the final few shelves, so here we go. 6 Crimson Cranes and The Dragon's Promise, both by Elizabeth Lim. The City of Last Chances by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Oh, nice price sticker. Fairy Tale by Stephen King. Ascendant by Michael R. Fletcher. Soul from Gold to Iron and Rust by J. Davis and K. Grierson. Silver Under Nightfall by Rin Chapeko. Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. The Memory Index by Julian R. Vacker. Hotel Magnifique by Emily J. Taylor. Jade City, Jade War and Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee. The Dragon Republic and the Burning God by R.F. Kuang. The Empire of Gold and the River of Silver by S.A. Chakraborty. The Prison Healer, The Gilded Cage and The Blood Traitor, all by Lynette Noni. Pillars of Peace, compiled collector's edition by Tom Dumbrell. A Deadly Education, The Last Graduate and The Golden Enclaves by Naomi Novik. Starsight, Cytonic and Skyward Flight, all by Brandon Sanderson, with Jancy Patterson also helping on Skyward Flight. Aurora Ends by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. The World We Make by N.K. Jemisin. This is the full trilogy but written by different people. So we've got Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule, The Rising Storm by Cavan Scott, and The Fallen Star by Claudia Gray. And that, my friends, is the end of the bookcases. On to the book cart. This is an angle I don't think you've ever... Actually, I know you've never seen. So I have got a pile of books I've recently hauled here, which we're going to go through first actually because they're here and they're in the way of the book cart, which is just out of sight. So first up we have got The Obsidian Tower by Melissa Caruso. Death Note Volume 1, so I can actually now finally read Volume 2. A Restless Truth, again by Freya Marsk. The Last Gifts of the Universe by Rory August. The Monsters We Feed by Thomas Howard Riley. 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. A Song of Wraith and Ruin by Rosianne A. Brown. And Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. Will the cart into focus? So we now have the cart, and this is the final part of this video, so let's just get straight on into it. An Arrow to the Moon by Emily X.R. Pan. Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Webber. Blood Sion, not sure, by Deborah Fallet. The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. The City of Dusk by Tara Sim. Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. Poster Girl by Veronica Roth. Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. Book of Night by Holly Black. This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi. The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd-Jones. The Luminaries by Susan Dennard. Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. Book Eaters by Sunny Dean. Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen. This Vicious Grace by Emily Theed. The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Darkening by Sonia Mara. The Red Scholar's Wake by Alette D. Baudard. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axio. Cruel Illusions by Maggie Thurston. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. Sanlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. And finally, Dune by the man who wrote Dune. I'm gonna by Frank Herbert. Yes, Abby, I'm still reading this. So there you go. That is my entire physical TBR. I have no idea what it was. I had great intentions of going through, and as I did every shelf I was going to fill in my spreadsheet and I would know by the end of the video, but I do not know, so I will put the completed number here for how many books I have unread. Yes, this video does make me feel a little bit sick inside because that's a lot of books. I haven't even counted, but I know it's a lot of books. It also gives me the motivation to read and unhaul because I don't want to be doing this again. Not to this level. I am hot. I am... oh, gross. I feel like I've done a workout and I haven't. But there you go. That is the full 2023, start of the year 2023 physical TBR. I'm hoping to do another one at the end of the year and we can compare and contrast and see what we've done. My goal for this year is to get my TBR to 40 or 50% read. I quite like having a lot of books that I haven't read on my shelves purely for choice, because sometimes I am a mood reader and I feel like I'm coming back into my mood reader era. Can't even talk anymore now. So we're working on it. Hopefully, I don't know. Obviously, I'm still buying in books. I'm looking at my subscriptions as to whether I want to keep them. I am still pre-ordering books, but I don't really pre-order, like, I pre-order in big quantities, but they come throughout the year, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just need to actually start reading the books, I think, and maybe look at cutting down my subscriptions, because I get like 36 books a year from them, from having 3, so if I cut them down, that will be a big help. But that is everything for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I don't know if you have. I've tried to change the angles a little bit because, you know, seeing my face is boring, and carrying all these books was hard work. So if you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Really supports me on my channel. Leave me a comment down below. What is your TBR? Physical TBR, if you know it. If it's less than mine, well done. If it's more than mine, I feel your pain. But no shame whether your TBR is no books, 5 books, 500 books. We're all collectors and we do what we want, and I love buying books. Whether I read them is a completely different thing, but I do enjoy buying them. So it's something that makes me happy. If you want to see more of me, please consider subscribing down below and ring that notification bell to get notified every single time I upload new videos. I do currently upload on a Wednesday and on a Sunday, so be sure to stick around for more bookish content from me. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. I'm off to take a nap, and I will see you later. Bye.